Hey folks, good morning, good evening. Let's wait for one more minute and then get started, guys. We're waiting for some people to join, right? So, since it's a very beginning day, we'll give time for everyone to just join the meeting, right? Because some people might be facing some issue with the link, joining, anything, right? So, let's give it a minute and then get started. Thanks for joining. Right, let's get started, folks. Myself, Satish. I will be the trader for your session. Now, this course, you guys know that it is cloud automation using Terraform and Python. We will be focusing more on automating the stuff rather than provisioning anything manually, right? So for that, we need the programming language Python and the language Terraform as well. So we will talk more about the Terraform and Python. How do we automate? We will understand how the automation works, and we'll go further on that, right? So myself, Satish, I have 12 plus years of experience into cloud automation, DevOps, and primarily I started as a backend developer, and then I moved to cloud platform engineering. When I started doing the platform engineering, I was using various cloud platform. I've used Azure, Google Cloud, AWS, also IBM Cloud. So these are the various wide area I've worked on. Also the automation, when I say not just automating it, it is kind of an end-to-end profile where, setting up until infrastructure, like end-to-end automation till CI/CD, everything has to be taken. So I worked on various profiles as well. So that's my profile. So I let you guys to talk about yourself. Please introduce yourself. Maybe you can introduce what's your profile, where are you from, and what is the expectation in this course. So the very first demo is basically to set the right expectation before we start any kind of code. Right? Initially, you might be having a lot of thoughts in your mind. You wanted to get clarified how that's going to happen, right? So please post all your questions in the very beginning so that we all be in the same place where the expectation is set right. So I'm requesting all of you to talk. So I'll unmute. I mean, I'll call out by whatever the list I have it in a participant. I'll go with the order in that. Maybe you can talk, introduce yourself, and up to you, right? I'll call Arun. Hey, Arun. You can unmute and talk if you're on. I think everybody is on mute, right? So please unmute and talk. Arun, can you introduce yourself? Go ahead. Arun, you are raising your
Am I
hand.
audible now?
Yeah, you are. You are now. You're audible.
Okay, sorry. So myself, Arun, I have a 15 years of experience and I'm a virtualization architect. Earlier, I used to work on desktop as a service automation. Uh, and now I'm working with on the AVD platform in the Azure Virtual Desktop environment.
Okay.
For me, this course is so important because just want to work on the configuration runbooks using Terraform. This is what I'm expecting from this course. At least give me the basics of infrastructure as a code with regards to the product which I'm supporting on Microsoft. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. All right. Cool. Thank you so much, Arun. You're from?
I'm from earlier I worked for Accenture in US and now I'm working for Tech Mahindra.
Okay. In US. So why I'm
Yes.
asking is the location is because we will be able to plan the timing well. That's the reason. Okay. Don't.
Sir, I'm back in India. I'll be till October here, and then I'll be going back to US in the month of
Oh,
November. So I should be comfortable with the US times.
yes. Okay. All right.
It's Indian times. Sorry.
In IST. Yeah. All right. Cool. Thanks, Arun. Uh, Giri, Giri Satyanarayana. Yeah, Giri, are you talking? I see you unmuted, but I'm not able to hear anything from you. Maybe some issue with the audio connection or audio settings. You click on the settings button and see whether your microphone is connected. And while you talk, that indication is happening or not. You can check that. Okay, he left. I think he is rejoining. All right, Gopal, till he joins, we'll go ahead. Gopal.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. So,
Morning.
thanks for unmuting me. So, about me, I have around more than 10 years of experience, and currently, my roles and responsibility related to the AWS cloud. And we have also, some of the cloud, which is actually Terraform, which is used in the pipeline, and as well as the Python. So, my background was actually the developer background, so I'm comfortable with that scenarios.
Okay.
And from this class, basically expectation is like hands-on experience for various activities we do, day-to-day activities, as well as end-to-end.
This conference will now be recorded.
What happened?
So
Yeah, go
end-to-end,
ahead.
no problem. So lot of executions we'll learn from out of this course. And looking for at this moment, I am located at Kolkata.
Kolkata, is it? Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, Gopal. Giri, are you able to talk?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you well now.
Okay, so I just got out and came back. I don't know what happened. So, hi, I am actually located in Canada, Eastern Time Zone, just so you're aware of that. I have over 15 years of experience in IT and also quite familiar with both Azure and AWS platform. Currently, I'm helping one of the clients work on a Azure DevOps implementation, and we are specifically looking at infrastructure as code. Looking at Bicep, but I know Terraform Bicep either way. I think what I want to understand is also, by the way, I'm also quite familiar with Python, but not advanced. So I really want to understand how Python can help with the IAC, and also primarily if this can also help me with automation with primarily Azure platform at this point, but I know they're all compatible with different platforms. So maybe more focus on IAC and Python and how it can be applicable to Azure, AWS, both platforms would be very helpful for me.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much, Giri. Who else is there in my list? Gopal, Vivent, Kaushik. Hey, Kaushik.
Hi, good morning. Uh,
Morning.
Myself, Kosik Ghosh. Actually, I'm working in as an VDI, VDI admin. My
Okay.
technology is Citrix, VMware, and Azure AVD. So
Okay.
my actually, I want to learn Azure. I want to learn Terraform A to Z
Okay.
on for Azure and Azure AVD. Uh, that is my aim of this course.
Okay. 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 Cool. Thank you so much, Kaushik.
Thank you.
Yeah. Michael. Michael, can you hear me?
Oh yeah. Hello. Can you hear me?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. My expectation for the class, I'm trying to pick up on Python. I don't really have experience with Python or knowledge with Python or Azure. I've been picking up a little. I have some knowledge of AWS. Actually, my own background is from like business, but I actually had a work experience as a backend developer, Capital One, some years back.
Mhm.
But I left that to join the army. I'm still in the military right now, but I want to get back into IT. but instead of backend, I want to get back. I want to get into DevOps. So that's one of the.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's that's my background. Yeah, my expectation is just the practical experience with Python especially, and also to get uh, to learn as well. Yeah.
All right. Cool. Thank you so much. I see one more person joined, but he had not connected the audio. We okay. I see he joined. Dayal, is it? Hi, Dayal. We just went a round of introduction with everyone. I think you are the one who's missing. Would you be fine to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi.
Hi. Yeah.
Uh, I'm just a fresher working in one of the, startup company
Okay.
as a storage administrator. Just
Okay.
want to learn more about cloud automation. Yeah,
Mhm.
I just
Okay.
want to
Cool.
learn more about from Jenkins and how to automate the cloud services using Terraform and Jenkins.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. Thank you so much, sir. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me walk through the syllabus content of what are we going to cover in this course, and then I'll give you a demo on like what is Terraform and what level we are going to learn about it, and things like that, right? Guys, stop me right away wherever you feel that you're not getting some word from me. So stop me wherever you want it. So I will just share my screen. Give me a minute. I'm sharing my screen. Let me know if you are able to see my screen, right? Right. So this is a cloud automation using Python and Terraform syllabus, basically. So why we have this? I mean, we will go for the syllabus-wise, a topic. Basically, we are going to start with Terraform first. What is Terraform? Terraform is basically an infrastructure as a code, right? Let me go with the demo PPT, and then I'll walk through about the topics. What are we going to see? So what is Terraform? Before we go into Terraform and Python, anything, we need to understand about cloud computing. I hope everybody is clear about cloud computing. It's not that you have to just start learning about cloud computing. I hope everyone is at least knowing the basics of what is cloud computing, how the services works and things like that. Without knowing that, automating that would become very difficult. But I hope everybody is coming out from that background, right? So cloud computing, everyone do that. But so far, what we were doing in the market, like people were doing it manually, but it's not an efficient way to do it in the market, because when you wanted to be a time to market, right? When time to market term comes, you have to be quick enough to deploy any bigger infrastructure on cloud with a very short span of time. How will it happen if you automate? So when it comes to cloud automation, you have to use the infrastructure as a code. What is infrastructure as a code? Cloud computing is basically provisioning the infrastructure. And infrastructure, we were doing it manually. Now, what are we focusing is to automate that infrastructure. So infrastructure using code, that's what I mean. We are going to write the code to automate the infrastructure. That's what we call it as infrastructure as a code. And we are going to talk about Terraform. What do you mean by Terraform? Terraform is one of the infrastructure as a code tool, basically, right? And it is basically open. I mean, it is owned by HashiCorp Corporation. And when you say automation, you have to write some set of code, basically. Right? So what kind of code it is? Is it kind of uh, you know um, programming language? We need to know. We need to learn about HashiCorp configuration language. So Terraform will be written in HashiCorp configuration language, which is pretty simple, guys. It's not worrying about knowing all the concepts, like how we want to learn about Java, Golang, or something. It is pretty simple. uh, you don't have to have prior knowledge to learn about this, I would say, because it's so simple. But if you ask about this course, how are we going to learn? It is completely on hands-on. So I will be taking you the concept and I will give you the hands-on. Complete hands-on. We will see about demo, how we will write the code, how we will get started with writing the code, and then we will write the code. I'll give you a lot of hands-on. We will every day have the hands-on to do the practice, right? And to learn about the Terraform, what is it a tool? Yeah, it is basically an infrastructure as a code tool, and we will be writing out HashiCorp configuration language in order to interact with any cloud. Why Terraform specifically? Because every cloud has its own infrastructure as a code provisioning. Let's say for AWS, if you take, there is a cloud formation. Azure, you take ARM templates are there. But Terraform is a common terminology which will be like interacting with multiple clouds. So you have to learn Terraform in order to switch to any cloud. So learning Terraform doesn't stop you like applying the Terraform for any kind of cloud. Let's say in our course we will be focusing AWS cloud for our cloud provider, and we will write the Terraform code for AWS. But after learning this or while learning this, hey, my requirement is I need to do this application for Azure Cloud. Will I be able to do that? Yes, I would say yes. Why? Because the concept of Terraform is same, the concept of cloud will vary. So if you're creating EC2 instance here in AWS, you will be creating virtual machines in Azure, right? You will be creating virtual machines in Azure. But both are same. Terraform is only concept remains same, right? But cloud provider is different. So I will help you out if you guys are looking for different cloud as well. I will definitely help you out how we can easily apply it. But you yourself will come to know how easy it is basically when we are learning about the Terraform. I'll make it little easy, fun and easier. But if you ask me that, do we have only tool for cloud automation? No, we have many tools in the market. We have Chef, we have Ansible, Puppet. A cloud formation is specifically for AWS, but you have other tool as well. But it is not meant only for infrastructure as a code. If you take Ansible, Chef, Puppet, those are configuration management as well. They do the configuration management as well. But Terraform is a specific tool where you will be managing infrastructure as a code and widely used across the industries. You can easily integrate with the CI tools, right? And this is a general common comparison between all other tools. If you see, right, there are multiple tools comparison have been mentioned here. Chef, Puppet, Ansible, Pulumi. Pulumi is not widely being used very popularly, but many companies are still using that. And CloudFormation is mainly for AWS and heat template, heat orchestration template, we call it. That's again like one kind of infrastructure. But what are we going to see is basically with the Terraform. Why Terraform? Because the community is really big. There are a lot of contributors. There are a lot of pre-automated stuff. If you wanted to get started with some cloud automation, right? There are already like kind of a template which is done by using Terraform. So your life is becoming very simple when you're going with Terraform, right? But Terraform and like all this cloud formation, these things will be useful only for provisioning your infrastructure. But also, if you want to do the configuration management, for that you have to go for Chef, Puppet, Ansible. But the Terraform mainly for provisioning the infrastructure, right? And you look at the differences. Source, basically all are open source. Pulumi is the only, CloudFormation only is the tool basically only specific for AWS. But all other than that, all other tools are basically applied for all other clouds. You see here all. And yeah, very importantly, you should see about the community. You see here, Terraform is having a huge community. But other than that, everything is little small. And these things are not meant for just infrastructure as a code, right? These are for configuration language, configuration management as well. You can even see here. The type is mainly for configuration management, right? Now, very, very, very important aspect of this Terraform is basically like, how complex it is to learn because it's a programming language we need to write, right? So the syntax basically not complex compared to, other programming. It's very basic syntax. We call it as HCL. What is HCL? HashiCorp configuration language. HashiCorp itself has its own configuration language, a kind of a different notation we have it, and we will talk about it, how easy it is. The definitions have been written in Golang and it will be executed. But if you ask me, hey, do I need to know Golang? You don't have to, because you're going to write a wrapper script on top of it, which is in HCL, right? And it is open source, as you guys know, right? This is a very simple comparison between just CloudFormation and Terraform. because we are going to see about AWS, I'm just trying to differentiate the cloud formation with Terraform. So Terraform, you will be writing in Ashicup configuration language, whereas CloudFormation, you will just write it only with the JSON. But CloudFormation will not have any state management. It is very, very important topic when it comes to Terraform. What is state management? Let's say today you're provisioning one infrastructure for one project ABC, right? Now that infrastructure, you provision it for US region. The infrastructure contains a load balancer, VPC, I mean the network, load balancer, some kind of servers, internet gateway, some bigger architecture, right? When you're doing it manually, it takes some time. But what you're doing is you're writing a code in order to automate. Now, what is state management? Now, I'm saying, hey, execute this code. What will happen when I say execute this code? This will actually provision the infrastructure. Now, the infrastructure is provisioned for US region. Now, what happens if I wanted to modify? What happens tomorrow if I re-execute the same code? Will it create a new set of infrastructure? No. Why? Because Terraform has its state management, whereas whatever you have provisioned today will be captured in one configuration file called state file that will keep the live configuration what you've applied. And tomorrow when you're trying to modify any kind of configuration, right? So it will refer that configuration state where you have applied yesterday, and it will tell you, hey, it is already applied. You don't have to reapply. There is no changes needed. Or if you wanted to modify something in the infrastructure, say for example, today I provisioned 8 GB RAM and 2 core processor server, and tomorrow I wanted to upgrade it. So I can write the code and say that apply this code, it will upgrade the instance. So basically everything is being tracked by using a state management, right? Also you have an execution control, which means like, what is execution control? Let's say I have written a code. I wanted to see an overview of what this code is going to perform. Imagine there is a code you've written. Whatever the code that you've written, what will it perform if you wanted to see, right? Terraform has a provision to give you a rough plan what your code will be performing, right? But CloudFormation doesn't do that. CloudFormation directly apply that code, right? So that's about it. And logical comparison, you have some limited features. Actually, that is good enough, right? And support iteration, basically you have it in Terraform. Terraform has its own iteration concepts where you can execute it number of times. And also you already, if the infrastructure is created, say for example, hey Satish, I provisioned it last year. I did not automate it. At that time when I started, I have just manually went and provisioned it. Now I wanted to manage it via code. Is it possible? It is possible with Terraform. It is not possible with any other, infrastructure as a code tool, but it is possible with Terraform. You already provisioned that infrastructure. You wanted to manage it via Terraform. Is it possible? Yes, it is. So those concepts, right? How are we going to do whatever I have explained it so far, right? I will be telling you how it is going to work, right? Like, in the actual demonstration, like, we'll be talking more on how will it work, right? On the real. And if you look at the command, hey, Satish, how many commands are there in Terraform? Do I need to remember all the commands? You don't have to, guys. Why? Because there are very small number of lists. You see, these are the total list of commands we'll be using it for Terraform. The commands are pretty simple. These commands are helpful to visualize your code, to apply your code, to see the plan of your code. Everything can be done just using Terraform command. We'll see how we will set up this Terraform command line. But our focus is targeting to the AWS cloud. And AWS cloud account, you guys know that, right? We will be able to use our personal account, and it is valid for 1 year. You will be able to create your account and valid for 1 year. You can use it, right? Now, yeah, Terraform can create AWS infrastructure basically, and what is like you can provision a new infrastructure or which is already existing also you will be able to manage, right? Yeah, these are all the things we'll be talking about Terraform. I'll take a pass right here, guys. Over to you. Any questions? doubts, clarifications you wanted to ask for before I proceed?
So in the syllabus it says Azure. Are you planning on taking Azure on, or are you going to be taking Azure based on what the
Sorry, you meant to say in the syllabus it is Azure mentioned, is it?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I see Azure in the syllabus. Are you how are you looking at that? Are you going to be Are you going to be taking it up, or just
Our focus is one, so that's what, like, focus is one cloud. If major of the people are looking for Azure, I'm fine to take it in Azure as well. Like, one cloud we will see, but the other cloud you will be able to apply on your own. But if you're looking for Azure, we can see about Azure. But the Python automation, what we are going to see is for Boto 3. Our syllabus is basically on the Boto 3. That's for AWS. So what I planned is basically, like, taking AWS for applying Terraform and Boto 3. Now, after that, you will be able to apply that concept, even Python or Terraform. If you wanted to go ahead for any cloud, you will be easily be able to do that. That's the intention of this course. So the focus is on AWS. So one cloud we will focus, which is AWS.
So, Satish, actually, I don't know Azure. Sorry, I don't know AWS. So, will you help to learn also AWS, right?
Not completely. So our focus is on automation. I will help you how to automate. While automating, like, some concepts, like if you need to create, you should be able to create it manually. But yeah, we will see about how to automate it here completely, but not completely giving you the hope on learning the AWS part, because our focus is not learning AWS, learning the automation for AWS. That's the focus here. But yeah, if you need some help on for how to learn the AWS part, I can share some kind of AWS course where you can learn about AWS. But the expectation is you need to know about the basics of AWS before we kickstart.
Satish, this is Arun here.
Yeah, Arun.
So majority of our clients has transitioned from AWS to Azure. So now we don't have any sort of a workloads nor the services running in AWS. So
Okay.
will this course will be more stressing upon Azure?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
again,
Satish,
our
Azure will
focus
be
is,
helpful.
yeah, our focus is not based on the cloud. Again, I'm telling, like, this course is mainly to learn the automation for Terraform. So Terraform, applying Terraform on Azure or AWS, it's up to you. Now, you guys tell me, like, you guys majority looking for Azure, not looking for AWS. And I want to learn how to apply the Terraform for Azure. I'm absolutely fine. Again, what I'm trying to clarify is our focus is not to learn about the cloud concept, learning about the Terraform and automating the infrastructure concepts. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
You are correct. See, we just want to have this Terraform applied on the cloud, which is which is Azure, not AWS.
Okay. So
But not learning about the cloud. That's not our intent, as you have
exactly.
said.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. So majority, I mean, not majority, basically, like, Arun is looking for Azure. Who else is looking for Azure? Maybe I can just think about getting the Azure, cloud for Terraform. That's pretty good as well.
For me, I'm looking after for the AWS.
Okay. Okay.
And myself for Azure and Azure AVD.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And any other preference, guys?
Satish, what about creating Jenkins pipeline? You
See,
just
that's a part of the, yeah. So Jenkins, if you want to learn about, that's a part of DevOps. But here in this course, I will talk about how I will show you how to automate the Terraform provisioning, apply and provisioning using Jenkins. I will help you. But focus is not learning Jenkins with Terraform. I can help you how to integrate with CI. Let's say you wanted to automate. When I push the code into GitHub, I wanted to automatically trigger a pipeline where it has to do the Terraform plan and apply. You wanted to automate it. I can show you how it can be done.
yeah,
So you will
yeah,
cover CI/CD also, right?
No, see, again, the CI/CD tooling is not a priority here. I will be helping you to learning about how we will set up the automation using CI/CD for Terraform. But learning about Jenkins, if you completely ask, that's not a part of this. I mean, I'm making it clear. There's a difference, right? Learning Jenkins is different from learning this Terraform automation.
Yeah, that will take some time. Yeah. So I
Yeah,
think,
so
yeah,
that's our primary focus here.
yeah, what I understood is, you'll help us how to automate AWS resources using Terraform, and also you'll use AWS Cloud Formation, I guess, right?
Not AWS Cloud Formation. Our focus is
Both of
fully on
both three.
Terraform and Python, with Python.
Yeah.
How to
You have
automate
Python.
using Python. Yes.
So yeah, so what emphasis are you going to be placing on Python? Are you going to be
Sorry?
teaching the language or just you? So can you tell me how you're going to be approaching Python?
Python, we will start with learning about the concepts first the core Python. So we have the syllabus for Python. Basically, we will understand all the concepts of basic Python. I'll give you a lot of programs, and then we get started about Boto3 framework, which is for AWS, how we will apply this Boto3 framework for AWS. That's our focus. So this course is mainly to understand the Boto3 because many companies are looking for
Yeah.
Boto3 framework, right? So
Okay.
Boto3 framework is what the focus is here. How to create the AWS resources using Boto3, right? That's the last part. You can leave it, guys. I don't know who added this. Migration is not our priority. Migration is entirely different from this course, basically. That's basically this. That's a focus. Any questions? Maybe on fixing the cloud, right? For Terraform, let's like discuss that part. Maybe I'll ask the Visualpath people to reach out to you individually. What is the preference, and we'll get back and we will decide it, because it is something that uh, why I chose AWS is it's not that while doing AWS you cannot do Azure. You can do it in parallel. Our focus is like, even if you look at the syllabus, right? You see here we will be learning fully on the Terraform, how we will use this command, how to use this configuration blocks, different sort of blocks, different concepts in Terraform. Applying this on any cloud is it's up to your choice. I'm focusing here AWS because we will be able to continue the same thing, same configuration for Boto3 as well. But if you're looking for Azure, but the only thing is you will have to again come back to AWS for Boto3. But if you learn both and in parallel, let's say I'm starting the course on Terraform, and I in parallel, hey, I wanted to learn for Azure and AWS. How can I do that? So look at the concepts here. I will be talking about the generic concept first, and then you apply that for either AWS or Azure. I'm fine. I'm fine to help. Like let's say, hey Satish, I'm blocked. I'm doing this on Azure. How can I do that? I can help you, right? That I mean, let's say if we are taking on AWS Azure and you're stuck on Azure AWS concept, I can even help that. I'm absolutely fine to go for any kind of cloud, because if you ask me my profile, I worked on various things, various cloud on this, but it depends on you guys to decide which one you wanted to go for. And the course mainly so far we have focused on AWS part, because majority we will be looking for AWS concepts. So that's why we will be going for AWS, but it's up to you guys. Take it as an opportunity to apply this Terraform for various clouds. I will suggest that. If you're looking for one cloud, take this as an opportunity. Apply for one cloud where not just one cloud where you go for AWS or go for Azure. In parallel, hey Satish, I'm just stuck here while applying it for Google Cloud or applying it for, because our focus is learning about the concept of Terraform, right? So you will not stuck anywhere, because I'm here always to help you, and you will be able to apply that for any kind of concept. So that's a primary thing for our. All right.
Yeah,
Just
definitely.
before.
I'll give a try to implement this one in the Google Cloud as well, so that it will be learned parallelly for AWS as well as Google.
Definitely. So that's what I'm asking everybody to do it. Don't just restrict yourself. Just apply. That's the use of learning this Terraform. Otherwise, if you're focusing only one automation technique, right? Let's say one cloud. Hey, I need to just learn one cloud and AWS, for example. You can go with just CloudFormation. CloudFormation is even simpler than anything here, right? That's something that I would say. If you stick for one cloud, the cloud provider itself providing you the infrastructure as a code. But learning Terraform is like bringing you a dynamic way where you can apply for any sort of research, right? So I'm just suggesting, these are all my suggestion, guys. It's something that it's not that, hey Satish, you're just uh, focus asking to focus on different cloud. No, I'm not asking. I'm just requesting that be dynamic to widen your profile so that you can apply anywhere. I'm helpful here, right? I can give you a lot of screen sharing session. Maybe like, let's say you stuck somewhere and Satish, I wanted you to involve in my work. I can help you by sharing your screen and being involving in a part of your coding projects. So that's the way I usually go. So let's discuss that, right? Any other questions except this cloud thing?
And how about this? Is there any recording and the materials will be provided for this lesson?
Yeah. Every session will be recorded. You will be getting the recording right after the class. You will get an access to the portal. I think it's you can check with them about the access part, how you will be getting your recording settings. But you will definitely get the recording. I will share the notes. I will share the PPTs, everything. And I will also share whatever the code that I'm working on. I will push it in GitHub. You will be able to take it up. You can refer, and I will also give you a lot of hands-on codes while taking it. You will be able to do the hands-on. Next day you can come back and kind of ask doubts and things like that. That's how it's going to be. It's not going to be just theory sessions. Completely on hands-on. I prefer everybody to touch the hands-on so that you will at least do the practice session. That's how it's going to be.
So,
What
So will you help for
Satish,
will you
this is
help
basically
for
in,
certification?
in, today, in today's
I'm sorry.
demonstration.
Yeah, Dayal.
In today's demonstration, you are just explaining about the syllabus. So the thing
Yes.
is,
Go ahead.
can we get a sneak peek on whether the training will be more into theoretical or practical? I mean,
No,
syllabus.
it will be practical. It is not going to be theory. There is no use of just reading about the theory. We will completely
Right.
see the hands-on. For example, you say there is a concept we talk about. Let's say, if I just explain you, hey, what is a settings block? This is a settings block. If I just explain you theory, there is no use basically. I will be completely showing you on the practical way. I will implement. I will give you demo. I will push my code. I will give you task. You have to do it. Next day, come back and ask for doubt, and we'll go in that way. It's not going to be a theory. So in today's session, as I told you in the beginning, right? Today's session is mainly to set the right expectation because we are different people here, different experience, different background. We need to set a right expectation before we start any course, right? We all got the syllabus, but it doesn't mean that we all are in same place, right? Everybody is in different. So this session is to make you to understand what is Terraform, what is Boto 3, and in what way we are going to learn, and what is the expectation on this course. That's it, right? In the next session, we will talk more about what is Terraform. We'll get started. We'll talk about what is Terraform, how to set up, how to bring all this necessary installation needed for us, and then we get started with our concepts. That's the way I usually go, right?
Yeah.
Entry class.
One clarifications regarding this Boto 3, which we are discussing about it. Is it only going to be discussed about the concept, or we are also going to be implement using this Boto 3 for all the resources is mentioned in the course?
Yeah, so basically for various resources, I will be showing you different concepts, and I will be giving you different hands-on tasks as well. So it is not just what is Boto 3 or just the syntax or something. We will talk about implementing it, how we will implement it for different resources. Let's say you need to create a users, you need to create a EC2 instance, you need to create a VPC, you need to create a RDS instance, different concepts we will be applying using Boto. All right, let me go ahead for the Boto 3. I've just stopped till this Terraform, right? I'll go ahead with why we need to learn about Boto 3 and what is that. Yeah, you were asking anything, Kaushik?
Yeah, will you help for certification? Terraform on Terraform.
Yes, I can help you for the certification. So this course fully, if you're doing following the same hands-on whatever I'm talking about and whatever the task I'm giving, you will be definitely be able to clear the certification. The guys, certification for Terraform needs more understanding and the hands-on needed for the Terraform. It's not just that like in other cloud, right? If you just read out the terms, you will be able to clear. But Terraform is not something like that. Uh, you have to know the concept. Otherwise, it is difficult. That's how it's. Yeah. Any other question? I think Kiran, you just joined.
Yeah, I just
One more
joined.
thing.
Yeah, Kaushik.
For any for any support, suppose there is an on-premises environment, we want to migrate it to cloud. So in that case, how will you apply the Terraform?
For
So
sure.
you
Help
help
you
to
out.
learn.
Definitely, I'll help you out. So first thing is you need to bring up the architectural plan, right? Based on the architectural plan, you need to construct a way that how are you going to plan your Terraform code, and then you have to write your Terraform code, and then we will, do kind of a plan. If you want to visualize your code, we have a provision in Terraform to see it as a graph, and you can apply that. So we'll see a approach how we can do that. I will give you various architecture here. While taking right in AWS, let's say you need to create a new region for your application deployment, including all your load balancer, server, network, all kind of resource. Then I will give you a new architecture where you have to just create your infrastructure based on a new architecture. How will you automate? That's how we are going to see this.
So, what is the duration you're looking at for the course?
So minimum 1.5 month I would need. Minimum I need 1.5 month at least, because uh, continuously without any interruption we are just going ahead. We at least need 6 weeks to complete a Terraform and Moto 3. But let's say if some doubts or questions are being raised and we need to spend more time on some concepts, it may get few days extended, or like everything is going well, we are on track, it may end up on the same time as. So it depends.
Includes weekends, Satish, or
Only weekdays around. We don't sit on the weekend.
and 7 to 8 is something it's a power pack timing. Is there a possibility where you can start at 6:30? Other
We can plan
people are
6:30.
okay with that.
No, no,
6:30.
actually, Sati is actually myself supporting the US client. So
Okay.
actually, it will be night time. 2:30 to 2 o'clock will be my last supporting time in India
Mm.
time. So it will be early. If we'll start the course in the morning, early morning, that is very difficult for me.
Okay. Okay. So maximum time we can keep is 7 to 8, Kaushik. That one thing I wanted to clarify, because my schedule will differ on that. So 6 to 7 or 7 to 8 should be good for me. Anything is good for me. Or we can discuss. Maybe we can discuss with the people. We can decide and keep it posted.
At
But
least
I'm
you
fine.
start it at 6:30, Satish, because if in case we have any sort of a doubts or clarifications, we don't want to
We can.
disturb your timing between 7 and 8. You carry out with your courseware. Only
Oh,
doubt
oh,
sessions or any sort of a configuration required, whoever is required to join in, they will join in at 6:30 so that we clarify our questions and doubts.
oh, cool. That should be good. That should be good as well.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah, we will.
Thanks for the understanding. Yeah.
No problem, Arun. Yeah.
And in case anything required to connect with you, how do we need to connect actually?
So, I mean, during the daytime, or it's something that so we will
Of course,
connect via
within your favorable available time actually. I
Visual
mean,
Path.
how do we connect? Is it through by mobile or mail?
Yeah, yeah. So Visual Path, I can share my email address, and you can connect with Visual Path team. They will connect with me. Right.
Hi, Sadiq. Giri here. Sorry, I had I got distracted a little bit. Can you just quickly recap from the Python perspective?
Python perspective
How?
not went ahead actually. I will go
Huh?
ahead. I will go ahead. Python I
Oh,
have
you're
not
not.
went ahead. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. Because I thought I missed it. Okay, okay.
All right. Okay, let's go ahead quickly with the Python thing. So what are we going to learn with Python, guys? So why we need Python? Because many companies nowadays, right, also looking for Python experts who wants to work with, a cloud. Why? Because not everything can be automated by using infrastructure as a code, right? Many things have to be automated by using Python in order to do kind of a cyclic schedule. Say, for example, every day I wanted to take a backup of all the running instances on cloud. I wanted to take a backup of volumes of the instances running on cloud. I wanted to take a kind of a run kind of some script to uh, provision some infrastructure every day or destroy some infrastructure every day. So those kind of scenarios, when it comes, you need to implement by using some programming language, which is provided by cloud. So Python is one widely used language, and which is like a primary concept, right? Like for cloud automation, right? So you can apply this for once you learn Python, core Python, you can apply this for any cloud. But this course is mainly focused on Boto3 because Boto3 has wide range of services offered to you to provision the automation for infrastructure. Not just provisioning, automation for infrastructure. So in Python, we will learn about the basic fundamentals of Python first. We will talk about how to just install, how to set up, and we will start about what are the different data types we have it, different data structures we have it, the conditional loop. These are all the things you must have learned in your computer science during your engineering days or something, right? The basic program. You must have learned about C programming, learning about the loops, the OOPS concepts, the data types, various aspects. Those things we will start here. Why? Because it is focused for the basic to intermediate, right? So we will talk about the Python concepts. We will learn about all the concepts, generic way. You can apply this for any kind of concepts, right? Let's say I'm giving you a programming question. You will be able to solve it, right? Any interview you go, the first round is going to be the programming round by using Python, right? So you should be good enough to handle the problem using Python. So that's the focus initially. And then after we complete learning about the what is modules, what is hoops, and all this, the core Python concepts, will start our Boto3 topic. What is Boto3? Boto3 is a framework for designed for AWS, where you can interact with AWS by using Python, using Boto3 framework. We will talk about various scenarios, how to automate. For example, I have a bulk of users. I wanted to just create the number of users based on the some checks that I have it. Or I wanted to take a backup of volumes. I wanted to run some set of script in my server every day. How can I do all this by using Python code? That's the focus we will be talking about. So it is something that we will start from basic and we will go for AWS. And whatever we are seeing in Terraform, right? All the concepts that I'm going to show you, or the architectural implementation, everything, we can also do by using Python. But then you can ask me, hey, then we can directly learn Python, right? Why are we learning this? Guys, very important difference between your Python and Boto3. Python does not have the state management. What is state management? I just told you, right? The state management is mainly for if the infrastructure is being provisioned and I wanted to modify, you will be able to resume it by using your Terraform code. But that cannot be done with Python. If you wanted to have a kind of a check whether it is provision, you wanted to have a state management and all with Python, you need to write a lot of code. So Python is mainly to write scripts where you wanted to execute some sequence of action, then you will go for Python. So we'll talk various scenarios, how we will automate, how we will write our Python, right? So that's the ultimate goal of this, Boto3. Any questions, doubt?
So Python can be essentially used with Terraform or even Bicep or anything like if you're using those for IAC.
Sorry, I did not understand the question.
So Python is essentially used for additional automation along with Terraform or Bicep or anything.
It's used as an additional automation. Yes, it is used.
Oh.
It's not replacing any other automation. It's an additional automation. Definitely. So many companies are using Terraform for provisioning, but scripting will be implemented by using Python. So learning Python is definitely going to be helpful. All right.
Yeah, I'm already learning Python, so definitely would be interested to know how we can apply it for IAC.
Awesome. Awesome.
Hi, Satish Kiran here.
Yeah, Kiran.
So I do not have any automation knowledge, but I'm working in AWS. So you're going to be explained from scratch, right, for the automation.
Yes, yes. For automation, we are going to talk it from completely, but not from the cloud perspective. If you ask me, hey, are you going to teach AWS from basic? I'm not going to teach AWS here. I'm going to talk about automation applying for AWS. So if you're new to AWS,
Yeah, working in AWS already.
yeah,
I do not have
then,
any
then
problem in AWS already.
completely beginning here. So don't worry about it. We'll be talking from very basic perspective.
Okay.
All right. All right. Yeah, folks. That's about a thing from my end, and we will start like implementing or setting up our infrastructure and then get started with our cloud automation by using our concept from next class. Any questions or anything you wanted to reach out to me to talk to me, connect with Visualpath admins. They will connect with me, clarify all your doubts, because I understand initially when we start our course, we'll have a lot of doubts, a lot of questions before we join. And guys, very important. Once you join, you should not think that, hey, it is something that I don't want to do. So take all the decision and then we'll get started. All right.
So
Yeah.
altogether, this will be how we can do the automation for any cloud. So we'll be learning that.
Yes, we will be learning about generic way where the Terraform concepts we will be learning, and then we will apply for AWS. We will apply for AWS. We'll definitely talk about more on the AWS part, but if you know multiple cloud, you apply the same concept anywhere. Let's say you GCP you want to apply, or anything you want to apply, you definitely have to. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, folks. See you back tomorrow, or I don't think tomorrow. It's on next week, right? We'll see. So connect with Visualpath people for the next class. Thanks, folks.